This book completely transformed the way I approach success in my business. And if you're an entrepreneur, whether you're just getting started or you've been in the game for a while, you must read it. And in today's video, I'm gonna be sharing why. Hey friend, welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm gonna be talking about one of the most transformative books that I've ever read. I've actually read it twice already because the lessons and the insights you learn here are invaluable. And you really need to read it more than once to make sure that they all ingrained in your mind, okay? What I really love about this book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, is that Napoleon Hill spent over 20 years of his career studying the most successful men and women, over 500 of them, and he was looking at what made them successful. And he found out that there were 13 principles that they all had in common, so he put them all in this book. Some of the people he studied was under Carnegie, Henry Ford, Theodore Roosevelt, Thomas Edison, and so many more. These 13 principles are not just about making money. They're about becoming the kind of person who attracts success and abundance. And today I'm gonna be breaking them down. I'm also gonna be sharing how some of these principles have benefited myself in my business, and I'm gonna be reinforcing each principle with some Bible verses to prove to you that these principles existed thousands of years ago, even in scripture. Now, before getting started, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel because I share weekly content to help you grow in your entrepreneurial journey with the best mindset, spirituality, and the best tools. So with this being said, let's get started with principle number one. The first principle that Hill covers in his book is desire. Desire is not just wishing. It is a burning obsession to achieve your goals. You know, when you feel that burning desire in your stomach to achieve something, that's where it all starts. And that is what Hill teaches. It's the starting point of any achievement. It is not enough to say, I want to be successful. You have to want it so bad that nothing can stop you. In the Bible, we can see this in Proverbs 23:7, which says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Your deepest desires shape who you become. Remember Phil Knight from Nike, the video that I posted a couple of weeks ago sharing the biggest lessons we could all learn from the founder of Nike as entrepreneurs. If you haven't watched it, I'm linking it above so that you can go watch it after. In Shoe Dog, he shares how for over 20 years, Nike, his company, was not profitable. And to be honest, he could have just quit at any point, and most of us would have quit after the first few years. But his obsession, his burning desire to create something meaningful in athletics kept him going. For me, when I launched my first digital product in 2021 with over 40,000 followers and having spent months in preparation and then launching it and having 0 people buy in was super frustrating. And again, I could have just quit there, and I actually thought about it. But my desire to succeed was 10,000 times bigger than my failure. So I kept going, I refined my strategy, I created new products, and all that led me to where I am today. So here's something that I want you to ask yourself. Is your desire strong enough to keep you going when things get tough? Let's move on to principle number 2, faith. This is the ability to see your success before it happens. It's believing in the unseen, even when you have 0 evidence in front of you. In the Bible, we can see this in Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. A little over a year ago, I had a season in my business when nothing seemed to be working. Sales were low, engagement was low, and once again, I was seriously considering quitting. But deep down inside, besides having that burning desire, I also had faith. Faith that if I kept showing up, faith that if I kept trying, faith that if I kept learning, things would eventually pick up. And as a matter of fact, they did. Every single entrepreneur needs faith because success isn't immediate. Despite what the girlies on Instagram tell you, it takes belief, especially when things aren't going your way. The third principle is auto-suggestion. This is about programming your subconscious mind through affirmations and visualization. In the Bible, in Mark chapter 11, verse 24, we can see this. Whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it and it will be yours. Sarah Blakely, the self-made billionaire, founder of Spanx, used to drive around an extra hour every day after work just to visualize her product on the shelves of every single store. She trained her mind to believe in her success before it even happened. When I struggled with fear of judgment because of how I had been bullied in high school, I used affirmations to reprogram my mind. And I kept telling myself, my message is valuable. My content changes lives. I am confident and I show up with ease. And it took a lot of effort and a lot of repetition, but I freaking did it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be recording this video for you. So remember this, your actions will change when your beliefs do. The fourth principle is specialized knowledge. Not just learning, but learning with purpose. Proverbs chapter 18 verse 15 says, "The heart of that discerning acquires knowledge, for the ears of the wise seek it out." Hill teaches that general knowledge is useless unless applied. Think about Elon Musk. He didn't study rocket science in school. He taught himself and applied it to build SpaceX. For me, I didn't try to become a business, mindset, or spirituality coach and a marketing expert all at once. When I started out, I focused on one thing that I knew I was good at, which was Instagram growth. Then I pivoted to AI for entrepreneurs, and then I expanded to business, mindset, and spirituality. Okay? Now, focusing on one thing, specialized knowledge, doesn't mean that you need to box yourself into one niche. I have an entire video about this where I share whether you should niche down or you should become the niche, and I believe that you should do both. So I'm linking that video up above in case you want to go watch it after. Principle number 5 is imagination. And this is what separates good entrepreneurs from great ones. In Genesis chapter 1 verse 27, we can see this very clearly. As we are all made in God's image, meaning that we are all creators by nature. Steve Jobs didn't invent the smartphone, but he used his imagination to redefine what a phone could be. For me, when AI tools started blowing up at the beginning of 2023, I saw this as a massive opportunity and I started imagining all the types of products and services that I could offer using this growing trend. That led me to starting the AI Creator Academy, which has been a game changer. So remember this, entrepreneurs who fail to imagine new possibilities stay stuck. So ask yourself, what if? Principle number 6 is organized planning. Having a goal without a plan is just a wish. Proverbs chapter 16 verse 3 says, "Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and he will establish your plans." Going back to Elon Musk, he mapped out exactly how he would build SpaceX, step by step. And when his first 3 launches failed, he revised the plan, but he never quit. For me, I struggled for years because I never created a plan in my business. I was just winging it, just throwing spaghetti to the wall, hoping it would stick. But this year, I changed everything and I actually planned out my entire year at the beginning of the year, and it's been such a game changer. Now, has this plan changed? Yes, that's the beauty of it. You have to have flexibility in the plans that you create and not attach yourself to the plan or to the outcome. So create a plan, work the plan, and adjust as needed. Principle 7 is decision. Successful people make decisions quickly, but change them slowly. And another thing that I read in this book that I absolutely love is that there are no good or bad decisions. The worst decision is not making a decision. In Joshua chapter 24, verse 15, we can see this. "Choose this day whom you will serve." Jeff Bezos made a quick decision to start Amazon using his regret minimization framework. Would he regret not trying at the age of 80? That clarity made his decision easy. Even for myself, every major breakthrough in my business happened when I stopped overthinking and I took messy action. If you hesitate too long, you miss opportunities. Principle number 8 is persistence. And this is one of my favorite and one of the things I see most entrepreneurs failing at. The ability to keep going even when you feel like quitting. Galatians chapter 6 verse 9 says, "Let us not become weary in not doing good. For at the proper time, we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." Think of J.K. Rowling. She was rejected 12 times before someone took the chance on Harry Potter. Imagine if she had just given up in rejection number 11. I think all our lives would be completely different because who didn't grow up with Harry Potter, right? For me, persistence meant launching after failure and failure, pushing through the tough times and knowing that every challenge was just a test of endurance. Persistence is not just about working hard, it's about refusing to quit. Principle 9 is the power of the mastermind. And this is about surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals who challenge, support you, and elevate you. Napoleon Hill firmly believed that no one can achieve massive success alone. The right group of people can multiply your growth exponentially. In the Bible, we can see this in Proverbs 27:17. As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. Look at the PayPal mafia. Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, Reid Hoffman, others who built PayPal and later founded companies like Tesla, LinkedIn, YouTube, and SpaceX. They all leveraged each other's knowledge and networks, leading to billions in impact. For me, my biggest breakthroughs happened when I joined mentorship and coaching programs and I surrounded myself with people who were at my level or even beyond. Sometimes you do have to invest to join these spaces, but it's totally worth it. It opens up your mind, and then you can also leverage their knowledge and they can also leverage yours. It's always like a two-sided way. So if you're trying to do everything alone, ask yourself, who do I need to surround myself with? Principle number 10 is the mystery of sex transmutation. Now, hold on, don't leave. And we're not talking about conventional sex. This is about redirecting your creative and emotional energies toward high impact goals. Hill observed that many of these great leaders that he studied had strong sex natures. But instead of letting that energy consume them like most people do nowadays, they channel it into creativity, ambition, and innovation. In the Bible, Song of Solomon celebrates the power of love and passion, showing how both of these energies can be beautiful and productive when properly directed. For us entrepreneurs, this isn't only about physical energy. It's about harnessing drive, passion, and emotional intensity into something meaningful. So instead of letting distractions pull you away, ask yourself, how can I channel my energy into creation rather than consumption? Principle 11 is the subconscious mind, your mind's 24/7 processor, which attracts and creates what you focus on even when you're not aware of it. In Philippians chapter 4, verse 8, we see, whatever is true, noble, right, pure, lovely, admirable, think about such things. Your subconscious mind is always working. That's why successful people are extremely careful about what they feed into their minds. Einstein often spoke about discovering the theory of relativity through visualization and subconscious thought. He didn't just think his way to it, he allowed those ideas to emerge from deep within. For me, I've seen this played out when I have journaled and prayed on a problem that later had a solution appear out of nowhere. And that it's not coincidence. It was my subconscious mind working in the background. So be intentional. Feed your subconscious mind with empowering, positive, and faith-filled thoughts. Principle 12 is the brain, a broadcasting and receiving station for thought. He'll believe that ideas aren't just created in isolation. They are transmitted and received. In 1 Corinthians 1:26, we have the mind of Christ. That means we have access to higher wisdom, but we must tune into it. Have you ever noticed how multiple people across the world invent similar things at the same time? That's because certain ideas are in the air, and those who are tuned to them receive them first. Our brain is like a radio station, basically, capturing frequencies from all living things, because remember, we're all energy and we're always emitting frequencies. For me, whenever I've been still in prayer or meditation, I felt ideas dropped into my mind that later have become game changers. So the lesson, silence the noise and become receptive. Ideas are always flowing, so are you tuned in? And the last principle is the sixth sense, that inner guidance or intuition that goes beyond logic. Hill describes this as connection with divine intelligence. For us Christians, this is connection with God and the Holy Spirit. For other people, it might be connection to the universe, but our intuition is always working. Just as with the frequencies that are captured by our brain, we have to tune in into our intuition. In 1 King 3:12, talks about how God gave Solomon a wise and discerning heart, a divine wisdom that allowed him to make incredibly smart decisions. Let's go back to Steve Jobs again. He often talked about trusting his intuition, even when it didn't make logical sense. Many of Apple's biggest innovations came from following gut instincts rather than traditional logic. For me, some of my best decisions, like pivoting my entire business to serve entrepreneurs mentally, spiritually, physically, weren't obvious at the time. In fact, logically, It made no sense because my business was already booming after that rough patch I went through. But I felt led to those ideas, and that inner voice was right. Otherwise, I would not be filming this video. So as entrepreneurs, developing our sixth sense allow us to make decisions not just based on data, but on divine wisdom and intuition. So there you have it, friend, the 13 principles from Think and Grow Rich. The biggest takeaway is that success starts within you. It's not about just strategy, it's about who you become. If today's message resonated with you, and you're ready to stop struggling and start building a purpose-driven, abundant business, I want to invite you to something special. My new coaching program, The Awakened Entrepreneur, which is still in beta round, is still open. Here, I help entrepreneurs like you break through limiting beliefs, align with their God-given purpose, and build a business that brings both wealth and fulfillment. So if you feel called to go in deeper, let's talk. Book an awakening call with the link in the description, or DM me Awakened on Instagram, and let's explore how this program can help you step into your next level. Now, with this being said, thank you for staying until the end. If you learned something new, don't forget to give those thumbs up, share this video with a friend who might benefit from learning about these principles. Go get yourself a copy of this book. I'm also sharing a link in the description. Subscribe if you're new here, and I'll see you back next week for more entrepreneurial goodness. See ya.